There's something so perfect about a can, a soda can, and they're so colorful, and it's hard to reproduce that magic. I work exclusively in aluminum can, and I become known as the Can Man. One of my favorite parts of it is collecting all the cans and then sorting them into the bag or box that I have for them. I love the organization part of it. Seeing what I have to work with, somewhat OCD. And I get to put together like what I have with every variety. You're recycling what is completely discarded and then creating something out of waste. I love that idea. To most people, it's garbage. I'm trying to paint with aluminum can. I love the movie Fight Club, and Tyler Durden, I've always wanted to do his portrait. You know, Tyler Durden is the version of ourself that a lot of us had wanted to be in our youth. I had always wanted to do him in Rockstar, because he's a fucking rock star, man. The line actually that has inspired the work, Ed Norton's voice says, "It was great. We were selling America's fat asses right back to them." And when I make one of these pieces, if they can fly, man, it will be exactly that. Love it. I'm curious as to what things look like in can. I want to see the whole world in can, man. With Superman, the pairing was very important. It was such a classic image of Superman that I really wanted to go with the classics. Coca-Cola, 7-Up, Sunkissed, Pepsi. There is a newscaster that I want to do who's all health-minded, all into the yoga, and for her I will do nothing but La Croix and other sparkling mineral water beverages. Art throughout the ages has always been a combination of craftsmanship and technology. Any good process is going to take time to understand how to make it better. Originally, I was just going to cut the meat out of the can to try and recreate an image using cans whose primary color most stood out. I've gone from using the cans as primary color to a more mosaic style. It's derived from my work in visual effects. Pixel is that little square that if you zoom in tight enough to, it's a solid color. You pull out, you know, it's many pixels that create an image. From can to creation, it's tough. I use a razor blade. I perforate the top and the bottom of it, and then I slice from the middle to that edge. I usually do about 30 to 50 of them at a time. And then the skin I throw into a bucket of really hot, soapy water. I just make these rolls of just, 50 or 60 at a time. I then take on the task of flattening them once they're dry by running them on the side of a table. When you work in such bulk and you start to understand how many cans are needed, just how much of this prep it's gonna take, it's semi-daunting, but at the same time, I love to see the progress. Part of this process makes me feel like I'm paying penance for the life I've led. Because who would choose to do this, right? But
dude, art is suffering.
Yeah. Right? Don't I know it? I've been sober for 15 years. Back in the day, I got used to a real decrepit lifestyle behind some illicit narcotic use. And I couldn't believe that some of the images I was producing with a number 2 pencil were actually coming out of my hand. I was Van Gogh. It was so romantic. I remember being deep in my disease at one point in college, and I went to a philosophy teacher because I was writing a script, and I wanted to know if any famous philosopher had said something about the individual being their biggest demise, because God knows, forever, I was just trying to fucking kill myself. I was really dark. I drew this when I was 15. I used to really be into drawing these little characters. It was all I drew all the time. It's 2 angels nuking the earth from heaven. It's an interesting thought. I was always drawing 8 balls though, because Stussy was huge at the time. 1991. I saw a documentary about an artist named Christo. This is a guy who wraps things. He wrapped a famous bridge in Paris. He set up hundreds of umbrellas off the 5 freeway. He put a silk piece of cloth across the Grand Canyon. What I learned from him is that so many things can be art. Today we're going to back some of the cans with Killer Red so that it's one big Rockstar can sticker. A lot of life is so much repetition. It is almost like you're living the same day over and over. Like if you get involved in a job that's 40 hours a week, you were living the same day quite a bit. The drive to work, the shower. I had always hoped that it wouldn't end up like that, where every day would just be a copy of a copy. What started to resonate in my mind behind an hourly wage is, what is your life worth 1 hour at a time? On a human level, you monetize yourself like that, and it's scary. I remember a period in my life where I thought I was just a fucking battery in the Matrix, used and created solely for the purpose of paying bills. For me, there's always that worst case scenario. When you wrap a job, or if you're let go from a position, somehow you're gonna lose your apartment, your car, and all of your money within 12 minutes. I don't think Tyler has that fear. Tyler Durden incites fucking change, man. In a different life, I'm living off the land and just trying to make it in an overly corporate world. This has gotten way too philosophical. And trying to figure out a way to get the perfect square, it's tough. It's hard work. My dad modified a paper cutter, and we put a block on one side so that any time I put the can up next to the block, I'm getting an actual 1 inch. The computer mock-up is based on a perfect digitized square. So it's my job to try and recreate the square the best I can. That's why I cut the can the same way every time. And this is the final material that will make the mosaic. But you want to make sure you get your cuts right. Look at that. The fruits of my labor. Squares. Magic squares. The truth is, You can push as hard as you want for perfection, man, but the world is gonna keep taking place. There's such a battle every day to try and create meaning in our lives. Shit, did I do this again? How am I cutting it short? I've given up on the fucking happiness thing, man. It's ridiculous. All my life, people have been telling me that I'm supposed to act or think or feel a certain way, you know, because I've always been fairly on the depressive side. Where did I get lost in this thing? It doesn't matter. I can't believe it's coming to this. I can take the air out of the Super Bowl, for fuck's sake. I've either been prescribed pills to help me not feel that way. Yeah. Or I've been in therapy trying to talk out the issues of, you know, and it's like, what is the fucking end goal here? So that I can be what? So I can be what? Where did it go? Why is this like this? Okay. Purple. Purple. All the way to that blue. Okay, so we are almost completely out of everything. So we're faking it now. Part of the huge reason for my art form is I can never end up drawing as well as I wanted to. I mean, that'll be evident to the other artists that see it. Oh, this guy couldn't draw. So you take other routes, you know? Scissors. We're going for speed, and we're gonna try and get it all up today, right?
So explain to me where we're at in the process, what we're doing today.
I'm sorry. I have very little hope in this last image. What are you feeling good about this?
Yeah.
We're putting it up. What you see here is a rendering of the image of the portrait of Tyler Durden that we're going to be doing in 3-inch squares. Anywhere where his face is going to be covered with 1-inch square version of the portrait, which allows for a lot more detail. All right. Let me get on my yoga mat. A lot of things are going to happen in one's life where you had hoped it hadn't happened that way, but the chips are going to fall where they may, whether you like it or not. This goes faster later. It's just this first row is kind of imperative because you want to get your first few lines really straight. If we fuck up one of these, I'm gonna be so pissed. Brooks, I want them down like this, on this side.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I wanna go all the way down that row, and then we're gonna go across again.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So next row, starting from here.
Yeah.
Across, yeah.
Well, so it's pure. Can you go look at the thing?
Yep.
So, you ready? It's pure orange, pure red, ac, camo, ingredients, tangerine. Okay. Second row across.
Yep.
Got it. Everything is designed to market and sell your ass. Stop right there. If you say something in your house, the next thing you know, you look at your iPhone and it's talking about the hotel that you were talking about. The curio cabinet that you have full of all the shit that you've accumulated in your life has to be dusted. And Tyler's like, let's live in a dilapidated home. Let's make soap out of stolen fat that we can sell to the wealthy. And you know, there is a happiness that can be derived out of the simplicity of life. The amount of stuff that we think we need to have just starts to pile. Shit really grows on you, you know? People are always trying to be present, and there's nothing that makes you more present than physical pain. Shit'll get your attention. I mean, this is so stupid and romantic. There were so many squares that we were peeling the back off of. The rows just kept coming to me, and I was just slapping them on. But what started to happen was that after like the 100th one of scraping it off my thumb to put it on, it started to tear away the skin on my thumb. I gotta tell you, I'm dying to have that feeling again. I can't wait to be smashing the square on the canvas and have that horrible fucking feeling of the sting of pulling my fucking thumb off the sticky backing. I have nothing to say about it. Thank God it's over. It's been a journey. Now some of you just play taps on a trumpet. Very nice. The last piece. Monumental moment. There's a real come down. The love and the intensity of it. Within 3 days, you come down. My least favorite part of the process is finishing, but at least then, you know, I get to get started again. It was an amazing feat. The depression will be beautiful. The goddamn battle to think that you need to be a happy person, in the end, I probably am. I don't want to tell anyone, you know? People ask me why I cut squares, I tell them, some people cut squares to remember, some people cut squares to forget. I know where we're at today. Where was I? See that? That was pretty good, huh?